Well, hello and welcome to the Boxing Arena in Herning in Denmark, and day 4 in the 2015 Women's Handball World Championships. After a day's rest yesterday, Group A back in action today. Later on, Denmark take on Serbia, and very interesting game there as well. Montenegro against Hungary, the second game of the day. But coming up right now is Japan against Tunisia, the two teams who currently occupy the bottom positions in the group. This, of course, a crucial game for them if they want to go through to the next round. The top 4 teams in each of the groups of 6 go through. Tunisia, the first team to come out, finished 17th at the World Championships 2 years ago, but they've started out here with a 39-20 defeat to Hungary on day 1, and then they played the host 2 days ago, 32-20 the defeat there. They were grateful for a break in between before they take on Japan in this crucial match in Group A for the team. So now their opponents, Japan, also 2 defeats so far. They played the host Denmark on the opening day, 30-21, not a bad performance. And then they lost just 23-29 against Montenegro, and in that respect they gave them a much harder game than most people expected. Japan, who finished 14th 2 years ago at the World Championships in Serbia. Well, they won't only have to win one of these matches, whichever of these two teams wants to go through. Of course, they have to win another game. Most of them may have pinned their hopes on Serbia, who arrive here missing key players and with their preparations somewhat thwarted. But actually, Serbia have proved to be quite a revelation here, despite all their problems. A few Japanese fans have made the trip here to support Shiofuji and her teammates, and they will be hoping that they can get their first points of the tournament here today. So the teams will now be presented to the audience in the arena, starting with Japan. Well, 10 players remain from the team that finished 14th 2 years ago. Plenty of experience of the team, with right back Fuji, 110 internationals, 555 goals. And in fact, we start off the day with a special presentation. And it is for Hida. Kimiko Hida, who is celebrating her 100th international, in fact put in just for the game today because she wasn't on the list previously.
20, Mayoko Ishitate.
So as we said then, some good experience. Left back Arihama, playmakers Ishitate and Tanaka, who've only played briefly against in the last game rather. But it's actually the newcomers on the Japanese team who've been impressive. Right back Tsunami, their top scorer here with 12 from 15, an 80% success rate. And left winger Matsumura with 9 goals so far. And at the end there we just saw the goalkeeper, Norwegian born and based, Kametani, who's been playing very well. Second. So there is the coaching staff for the Japanese team, with Masamichi Kuriyama on the right. So now the introduction of the Tunisian team. Well, only 6 players remain for the team that finished 17th at the World Championships 2 years ago, as the new coach Sana reshapes the team. He has kept the experienced playmaker Chiba, who wouldn't. She's their main threat, as well as line player Kuki, and the backs Kuildi and Tumi, their top scorer 2 years ago, although she's struggling to find form here. Newcomer Jalezi has been a real revelation on the line, though, with 10 from 13, a 77% success rate. While Abdallah has got a very respectable 29% save rate in goal. So the Tunisians averaging 66 internationals per player. Slight height advantage over the Japanese, 175 on average to 167. There is Kuki, the line player we mentioned earlier. And finally, Eshraf Abdallah, the goalkeeper, who's been their first choice throughout the competition. So there is Mohamed Sana, second from the left, with his hand up now, the coach and his staff. He took over from Paulo de Moura after the World Championships last year, and they too have managed to muster a few supporters. Referees for today from Russia, Victoria Alpaizde on the left and Tatiana Berezhnika on the right. Refereed games on both the opening days so far. This is their first major competition with the IHF, and the rest of the table officials will be presented. There is Sana deep in thought,
Keeper is...
Well, after playing tough opening games, this is the one that they win. Whoever loses here, well, effectively any hope they had of going through to the knockout phase have disappeared. Kuriyama, deep in thought.
And the official...
Japan, who've been playing a very open defence, and in fact Kuriyama was saying earlier today that even if the Tunisians use their usual 4-2 attack, he's probably still going to persist for a while with individual defence and see how it goes. But first it's the national anthems. Japan first. The mournful strains of the Japanese anthem, and now Tunisia. Very concentrated Tunisian team then. This an absolute must-win game for both the sides as they wheel round to shake hands, and the supporters have a last flutter of the flag before the serious business of the match gets underway. Teams who've met twice in the World Championships. In 2011, Japan winning 32-31, and then in 2009 in China, it was a 31-all draw on that occasion. So this is how the table looks at the beginning of the day. Hungary and Denmark are top on 4 points, split by goal difference. Only Montenegro on 3, Serbia on 1, and the two teams about to play, Japan and Tunisia, bringing up the rear with 0 points, stressing the importance of getting those points here today. Well, for Japan, right-back Fuji has been used sparingly so far, but this may be her moment. But much will depend on right-backs Tsunami and left-winger Matsumura continuing their good run. But the experienced left-back Arihama is struggling here with a knee injury, and she may not play today, although with 0 from 7, she's not had the best of runs. So for Kuriyama and his team, have they got the tactics right here? Will their deep defence really unsettle the Tunisians? We'll find out shortly. For Tunisia, well, back player Cheba, of course, remains the main threat, and she's linking up very well with line player Jalezi, but she tends to be marked closely, so Jouini and Toumi will need to step up today, while goalkeeper Abdallah has been on very good form indeed. So for Mohamed Riyad Sana, coaching the women's team here for the first time in a major event, and if he wants to go any further than the main round, it starts with a win here against the industrious Japanese, who play extremely fast. So there is Yui Tsunami, 12 goals from 15 attempts, 80%, very good for the 24-year-old right-back who plays for the Japanese champions Hokoku Bank, and they will need all of her expertise today when she comes into the fray. For Tunisia, well, Mouna Jalezi, the 24-year-old, playing her first major competition with Tunisia. She's been a real revelation. 10 goals, a 77% success rate for the line player. So the scene is set. Japan will start with Norwegian-based Sakura Kametani in goal. She plays for Vipers Kristianstad, team currently 7th in the Norwegian league. And the Tunisians are hoping for a good result here.
IHF Women's Handball World Championship.
So here we go then, Japan in the all-red strip throw off this Group A match, playing from right to left. Tunisia in the white shirts and the red shorts. I should say that my name's Paul Bray. I'm going to be with you for the next few matches. Hope you can stay with us today. 3 very good games indeed in prospect here in Group A. Still wide open. To the wing, fairly narrow angle and a comfortable save for Abdallah early on here. Not a huge challenge for the Club Africain goalkeeper. Tunisia, who qualified for the World Championships as African champions, while Japan were runners-up in the Asian Championships behind South Korea. So as expected, the Japanese start with this individual defence. But for now, at least, the Tunisians are playing a more traditional 5-1 attack. Break is on, and that's always going to be the danger. They're putting them under pressure, and Matsumura, the 24-year-old from Hiroshima Maple Reds, gets the opening goal of the game. A nice steal. Poor pass by Chiba, and it's punished at the other end. Abdallah can do nothing about it. 1-0 Japan. They have got 2 line players on, it's just they're not in on the line at the moment. Kuki and Jalezi are there, but Jalezi is drifting on the left wing for now. She's the one who takes the long-range shot without much effect, I'm afraid. Doesn't put Kametani under a great deal of pressure. Don't be confused by the name on the back of her shirt. She prefers to have her first name on their Sakura rather than their family name. To each her own. Quick play by the Japanese, trying to pull open. That's knocked out a play by Chiba. It's a throw-in for Japan, and Chiba living a bit dangerously there, walking away with the ball. So Ishitate has started at left back. Attacking foul. Again, the defence pushes right up. So Chiba, no surprises at the centre. Hamrouni, the right winger, is having to come out a long way to help Juini, who's playing at the right back position. Again, tries to go through. That's another attacking foul by Jalezi, who just can't quite get away from her marker, Nozomihara. Stood her ground and waited for the impact. So Tsunami on the right-hand side, Ishitate in the middle, Hara at left back. Matsumura, the impressive left winger, waiting to come around behind. We're going to have the first yellow card of the game. And it's gone to Tunisia's number 24, Ines Kouildi, 30-year-old who plays for Monde in the Norwegian First Division. And another goal, courtesy once more of Matsumura, the 24-year-old left winger. Trying to do an individual effort, shoots over the top. Jalezi looks to the referee, nothing given. She's taken all 3 shots so far, or attempted to. One of them a barging, attacking foul, and for Sana, not quite started as he hoped. Little handoff. Ishitate looking for the line, completely misconnected with Yokoshima. Tunisia tried to get the ball out, but the Japanese players are right up there in their face defending. Chiba races down, looking for the line. Kuki under pressure, and Chiba goes for the long pass to the wing. Straight over the keeper, and the opening goal for Tunisia, Amal Hamrouni, courtesy of a long cross-court pass by Chiba. And Kuki, who plays for Megrin, makes it 2-1. And Japan so quick on the rethrow, they've managed to lose possession. That is always one of the problems of playing extremely fast. So they still have Jalizi, playing on the left wing, but she's technically a line player, and I assume Sana wants her to come around. For the moment, she hasn't done so. She starts now, and she has got away this time. She beats Kamitani. This time she got past Nozomihara, her marker. So 5 minutes played. Oh, opened up the angle enormously. Being told that the early goal by Jalizi, in fact, was disallowed when they went straight back up court and came back instead to the free throw. So, well, Abdallah knows she should have picked that one up, and it's scored by Ishitate. Almost a lazy step across by Abdallah in goal. 3-1 Japan. Be another free throw. Chiba looking for the line, well covered all the way. And Japan have gone from an open defense and to a flat one now. It's time to go more into the organized phase, although still Yokoshima is pushing up a little bit. We need to keep an eye on Chiba, and that shot goes well wide, no trouble at all for Kamitani. And the long pass almost beyond the player. Looks for the line, yes! Yokoshima, 29-year-old who plays for the champions Hokoku Bank.
Goal Japan scored by player number 9, Kaoru Yokoshima. Japan 4, Tunisia 1.
So that save by Kamitani, doing well in goal at the moment. Tries to go through an attacking foul. We will check the scoreline for you at half-time as we come up to 8 minutes, because there is still a degree of confusion about whether Jalizi's second goal should have counted. As Chiba gets her first of the game. Quick break, gets away from a marker. So officially 4-2, and we'll keep with that score until we can check it. So free throw. Japan keep possession. Megumi Honda playing on the right wing. Very experienced player, 74 internationals, 169 goals. That's almost a pass to the goalkeeper, who throws long. I have no idea who she was throwing to. Chiba was still on the halfway line. The possession given away very cheaply as Japan come back in again, looking for the wing. Solid defending once more. It's Jalizi and Chuba. Blocked, but it'll come back out again for Honda to pick up the loose ball. I said earlier, very close games between these two teams so far. They've met twice in World Championships, and it was a one-goal win in Brazil at the World Championships in 2011 for Japan, 32-31, and then a draw, 31-all, 2 years earlier in China. Meanwhile, Toumi has got herself a yellow card, the number 10 for Tunisia. And that's going to be a 2-minute suspension. Jalizi Denmark again in C. It's number 14. Well, whatever it was, she was pushing in flight. So an enforced break for the winger. Oh, the line player, rather. Although she's playing winger now. It's a chance now for Japan to find more gaps in the middle. Landed. Won't count. There was no flight on that ball whatsoever. It was given rather flat to Hara. He tried to keep her feet in the air, but not according to the referees. Let's have a quick look and see. She's up. Very close call. 4-2 the score remains, just past the 10-minute mark. Looking for the line. That's nicely done. Cheba, the provider, Hamrouni gets a second. And Tunisia back to within 1 goal.
Goal Tunisia scored by player number 30, Amal Hamrouni.
And that goal there brings them back from 1-4 down to 3-4. As I said, we still have a question over one of the first half goals. Through the gap, a lot of noise and a lot of claims from the referees, but in fact the defenders were nowhere near, and quite a legitimate goal there for Nozomi Hara.
Goal Japan scored by player number 24, Nozomi Hara.
24-year-old, played 34 times for her country. Puki, still short-handed for just over 30 seconds, Tunisia. And they're playing a 5-0-1 defence at the moment, the Japanese individually marking Chiba, Honda and Chiba, in fact, having a bit of a personal battle, you can see in the right-hand or left-hand side of the picture, rather. And now there's a free throw. Chiba can come in a bit closer. Defenders have to be 3 meters away. Passes behind this time, long-range shot, covered by Kametani. And back come Japan. A few more seconds before Tunisia back to full strength. Top corner, nicely done. Yui Tsunami, one of the revelations of the tournament here for Japan, along with Matsumura.
12 minutes played, Japan is in the lead, 6 goals to Tunisia, 3. Goal scorer for the Japanese team, number 15, Yui Tsunami.
6-3 the scoreline now. Attacking foul. Tunisia, though, back to full strength at least, but hasn't helped them a great deal here. And again, straight through Megumi Honda, one of the veterans of the team. And Sana calls a team timeout. He's seen enough. Team drifting, they're 4 behind now. Abdallah not looking too happy. She steps off court, 2 saves from 9. We'll let you listen in.
بعدين يفكونا الكور برشا لهنا فكونا برشا الكور نعملوا روتاسيون دارير نوليو نجيبوا اسمها من هنا ايناس تخدم من هنا نخلي شيماء من الشارع الاخرى داكور وطيحوا رونفيرس لو جو دو سو كوتي يلا البنات شنو هلا
ただただ1対1になってるけど大きい展開の中で揺さぶった後で1対1にならないとあとのここだけは寄りが早いからなこれに対してここのチャージが2本あるけどここはなくしていこういい攻撃やること変えてくるかもしれないけどディフェンスやること変えないよ頑張ろうはい
So team timeouts are over. Gives me a chance to tell you, by the way, we saw earlier Kimiko Hida, 38-year-old Japanese goalkeeper, collecting her 100th international award. She's actually in the team in place of Aya Yokoshima, we understand, who picked up an injury. So he's decided to put in a third goalkeeper. There's no harm to that kind of experience on the bench, although the other goalkeeper, alongside Kamitani and Hida, is Fujima, who is very experienced, 79 internationals before the World Championships. So play resumes here with Tunisia, 4 goals adrift. That could be a penalty. Couldn't quite turn, I think. And Japan have managed to get away with only a free throw, but they've also collected a 2-minute suspension for the foul on Jalezi. And Nozomi Hara is going to come off inside the area, but holding the arm too much for the referee's liking. So power play for Tunisia, and now they really do have to try and take advantage of this. 13 minutes in, trailing by 4. This a must-win match for both these teams if they want to have any hope of continuing in the knockout phase. They've got a player clear up front. Matsumura wanted the ball, but the players at the back decided to bring it up slowly. So Kuriyama remonstrating somewhat with Hara, who's been sent off. So Japan have taken out the goalkeeper, and once more Mineko Tanaka has come in. Tanaka, who played in Denmark back in 2000 briefly, just one season with Skorbakken. Didn't quite work out for her, and she returned to Japan, but she will have acclimatized easily, if nothing else. And now a nice steal by Tunisia. The break is on, but unfortunately, poor pass by Jouini into Hamrouni, and it's a throw-in for Japan, who left off the hook while they're still short-handed. So the Tunisians are now warming up Buteina Amiche, 25-year-old. It's a left winger. And they're going to take off Jalizi, I wonder, who seems to be caught between being a winger and a line player. Into the wing, opened up a very big angle indeed, and Matsumura, goal number 3. And the short-handed Japanese just keep on scoring.
Goal Japan, scored by player number 29, Henry Matsumura.
8-3 the scoreline then for Japan. He'll be back to full strength again in about 10 seconds. Chiba. Looking for the line just beyond the outreached hand of Manel Kuki, the Migrin line player. So Japan let off the hook and are back to full strength. Japan have now brought in... I thought for a moment they were going to switch Tsunami. Not the case. The way she's playing, certainly wouldn't want to take her out. The main changes at the moment are between Nagata, who plays only in defence, and Yokoshima, who's in attack. On this occasion, Matsumura beaten by Abdallah. Back come Tunisia. No one to pass to. Good defence. They've nearly stolen the ball, Japan. Chiba races in, and it's an attacking foul. Goes straight into the defence. Beautifully played. One was waiting for the contact, and the other one was marshalling her in. Look how she gets pushed in. And ends up having nowhere else to go, and Kuriyama delighted with that. So past the midway point in the first half, Japan leading 8-3 here in the Boxing Arena in Herning. It's day 4 of the Women's Handball World Championships. A rest day for Group A yesterday. 4 groups of 6 in the competition. The top 4 in each group will go through to the knockout phase. Oh, hammer blow, long-range shot, Nozomi Hara, her second. Just 1.70 m tall, but boy can she shoot. Okay, back to the individual defence. Switching, 5-1, but she's gone away. Oh, unlucky. Cookie off the crossbar. And Hamrouni going right inside the area, trying to interfere with Kametani's pass, and rather clumsily gets herself sent off. The ball was loose. She'll probably claim, I thought I was going for the loose ball. Well, she may have a point. There's the shot initially by Cookie, though. Just clips the underside of the bar. Well, is it a fair ball to go for? She starts going, changes her mind, but by then she's committed. Maybe a little bit unlucky for Hamrouni. But it leaves them short-handed, and Japan now will find even more holes through the defence. Quick play to stretch the defence, and even more space than usual for Matsumura. But ironically, on that occasion, she can't beat Abdallah. 4th save of the game for Abdallah in goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, boxing here in Herning. Let's give a warm applause for both teams on the court.
Goalkeeper efficiency, 40% for Kametani, 25% for Abdallah. Break is on. Cuts back inside. It's a penalty. Pulled from behind, and that could be another 2-minute suspension. And Chiba is off. So a double suspension. Should have let go, but she kept hanging on to the arm. Brings down Tsunami. So the problem's mounting for the Tunisians as Shiofuji comes on court. Oh, save! Tried to put it under the keeper. Abdallah saves that one though. In fact, that is her fourth save now. So, rare miss by Fuji. He scored 555 times in 110 internationals for Japan. And the Japanese back to the full court marking. As Girisi comes in place on the left wing. Replacing Amice, who briefly went on. But interestingly, Girisi is playing as a back player, so really shuffling the deck around today, Sana. Into the wing. And that's scored by Yuki Tanabe, who's just replaced Matsumura. And
Japan scored by player number 80, Yuki Tanabe.
so the Tunisians have got one of their defenders back, but are still short-handed for another 40 seconds. Into the top corner, Hamrouni. Just to get away from the marker, the 20-year-old who plays for Club Africain.
Why don't we give a hand for the players from Japan as well?
Well, we've just had to stop because I think they're missing a goal on top of the earlier goal they're missing. So I make that, it should be 5, and that's notwithstanding the fact we still have a question mark over the Jalesi goal. It didn't go up on the last attack. So the quick explanation going on, and everyone just doing a recount, and Kuriyama's come across to see what's going on. So we could be missing as many as 2 for Tunisia. It's 4 on screen. In the Hall Arena, it's still showing 3. So we're just waiting to get everything fixed in the arena. It's all a little bit confusing at the moment. So as I said, these teams always had very, very close encounters, but here Japan have looked very, very sharp from the outset at these World Championships. Tunisia, on the other hand, not quite firing on all cylinders. You can see from some of the results the Japanese seem to have won new fans here in the boxing arena. Well, I guess go and sit with whoever you're having fun with and give them your support. And wonderful atmosphere here. There has been throughout the competition, I have to say. Japan, well, their match against Denmark was a good effort, 21-30 defeat, but actually they gave Montenegro a real headache a couple of days ago before going down 23-29. Right, so it's been fixed at 10-4. So Hamrouni 2 goals. But we may still have that missing Jalesi effort. We'll check that at half-time. It may have been disallowed and it just happened. Was that over the back line? It was. And it'll be a goalkeeper throw. So, meanwhile, Tunisia are back to full strength again as we pass the 20-minute mark here in the boxing arena in Herning, with Japan firmly in the driving seat, and it looks like Gerisi's short spell on court comes to an end as Raja Toumi, the most experienced player in the team with 230 internationals and 982 goals, steps on court. Hamrouni! Well, if you play a deep defence, you leave the back door open, and the right winger coming in constantly at the back, and Chiba finds her again. Nagata wasn't close enough. So this 6-0 defense, really trying to plug the gaps where the Japanese break through very quickly at 6 meters. And again, Abdallah took a blow on that last one and seems to be in some discomfort as the physio comes on. Trying to see if it's an elbow or Abdallah, who plays for Club Africain. Champions for several years running, but last year were knocked off the top of the table by Tebulba. Interesting, you have no players in the World Championship team. The only one who made the long squad was Sondes Hachana, 19-year-old playmaker, but she didn't make the last 16 cut. Just an awkward, it's an odd one, because it's not a bad blow, but sometimes you just get an awkward movement. They have jarred up through the arm. Seems to be okay though. Play resumes. Into the wing, bit of space. Goes wide by Honda. 9 minutes remaining in the first half, then a 5-goal lead for Japan. Three of them coming courtesy of Amal Hamrouni. Cheba breaks back inside. Cheba again, dummies the pass to the line, she's all the way through. Too many steps, say the referees anyway, but she's being fouled, she gets a free throw. Cheba, who plays for Nîmes in the French First Division. Club who are fourth there, in fact she's scored 49 goals for them this season. The 8th top scorer in the French league, Cheba. Attacking foul called against Cheba, long pass down. Tanabe tries to lob the keeper, Abdallah got it. Oh, nearly dispossessed. And so Chaima Jouini has now moved across to the left-hand side, which is technically her position, although most of the tournament so far she's been used as a right back in a 4-2 attack with Cheba on the other side, as they are sticking out to 5-1. Cheba straight into the keeper, no trouble there for Kamitani, Norwegian-based Japanese keeper who's played for them just 3 times before the World Championships, new to the squad. Tries to cut, good defense, they closed the door and there was no way through for Tsunami, the right back who tried to come through. Hara looks, there's no way through there, and they bring the ball back. Oh, poor pass. Mistake by Nozomi. Hara passing it a little over the top. Cheba races in. So Amiche is back in on the left wing. Girisi getting barely 2 minutes on court before the coach decided to swap her back in the centre. Raja Toumi, 37-year-old, who was the top scorer for Tunisia at the last World Championships with 34 goals. Tunisian number 10, he misses that connection, has to race back for the ball. And suddenly Japan push deep, but Cheba, long-range individual shot, and that does the job. Her second goal. 6-10 the deficit, straight through the keeper. Kamitani will be annoyed. We'll let you listen in now on the team timeout.
チェバそしたらアンダーから打ってくるでしょ。アンダーから打ったりいろいろ打ってくる。そこに対しては全員体張ろうや。いい今自分たちでリズム崩してるだけだよ。攻撃でさっきも言ったようにパスだけにならないでくれるから幅広くなるの分かるんだけど、だけどこれだけでパスだけになってしまって自分たちのリズムを崩してる。もうちょっと大きい揺さぶりの中でダミーを使ってその中でマッチアップしていったらいいじゃないか。1対1ばっかり
تطلع للسوتيا وتستناها صاحبتك واطلع باش تاخذ الكره ما تلصقهاش معاك. دكار نقص شويه من الدريبل
اسمعني
دكار هيا هوب هوب
اسمع فوز باجيز تخرجي منتي احلى مصدق التالي تعال نسيب لك ديريكت فات وادخل تخليها تصبغ.
Well, it looks like Sana was ousted on that one. He couldn't get a word in edgeways for Cheba. She had something she wanted to say, and that was going to be the end of it. As for Kuriyama, well, his instructions seem to be, remember that Cheba does these long-range, low shots, and just don't let her take them. You've got to close her down. You can't just let her have free shots. The nearest defender 2 meters away on the last one. So Cheba looks on, having given her instructions, maybe not Sana's during that last team timeout. She pushes right up now in a 5-1 defence. They too trying to do quick switches in mid-play. Oh, she's got it. Steals the ball. Cheba looks up. The wing is good. Amiche. Hamrouni. Goal number 4. And the 20-year-old playing in her first major competition, although still experienced, Hamrouni with 54 caps. And slowly but surely, Tunisia clawing their way back into this game. Another opportunity missed, and Kuriyama looks on impassively. Well, the Japanese, who had a run of 6 goals early on in the first half to establish a 10-3 lead, have now conceded 4 without reply. Shooting efficiency there or thereabouts for the two teams, 47% Tunisia, 52 for Japan. The ball is loose, and it's going to be a Tunisian ball. An early infringement spotted, and they'll send the ball back for a 9-meter throw. They may have stepped on the line to do it. Cheba tries to release. Tumi can't get away from a defender. Nagata holds on for dear life. We're inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. Trying to put a wall on to block her. Cheba instead tries to drive all the way through. She's held up right on the line. Looking for the line, and again they've stolen it. A wayward pass. But a bit of shoving in the back by Jalezi gives possession back to the Japanese. And there was the little bump in the back. So Japan have not scored for 7.5 minutes now. And that's straight on the back of 6 goals without reply. How fortunes change. And just managed to keep that in this time. Tanabe. Ishitate. Quick to cut, change of direction, but straight down the middle into the keeper. The ball's away now with Tunisia. They race up, but the Japanese so quick at getting back. And they've scored. And we've got to play it down. Have a quick look and see, and it's a 2-minute suspension after a long delay. Let's see. The side barge there on Jalezi. Sees Nozomi Hara get her second 2-minute suspension of the game. Bit of a clumsy intervention coming in onto the side of her, and it's left her with sore ribs. Hopefully nothing more. It was Ben Slama, 30-year-old keeper. 3 goalkeepers on both the squad lists on each bench. Ben Slama plays for Dijon in France. Jalezi hobbling off. Sana will need to replace her, but he hopes, I'm sure, for not too long. Kuki can go on. Since he's playing 4-1 at least, he can afford to rest one of the line players. So Kuki coming on, and they've now conceded 5 without reply, Japan. So goalkeepers out for Japan, and as ever, Mineko Tanaka has come on at 40, the oldest player in the tournament. Good defence. There's a lot of intensity now in the Tunisian defence as they seek to get control back. Came off a defender, and it's passive play being warned, so an early shot is required now by the Japanese. They can't take too long over this, but excellent defending as Jalezi continues to get treatment on the hip. Her teammates holding well. Play on, says the referee. Cheba comes away with the ball, and 2 of the defenders are still right back at the other end. Yellow card for Ishitate, but that's not a particularly big problem for her. She races off to do a substitution because she managed to spoil the fast break, and that was the main point of it. Very good spell by Tunisia, who looked to be losing their footing earlier on in the game when they conceded 6 without reply. But they've now turned the tables on Japan. Looking to the line. And they've got to within 1. Kuki. Solid line player from Megrin turns, beats Kamitani. And it's now been a 6-0 exchange for Tunisia. Inside the last 2 minutes of the first half, still without the goalkeeper. Tanaka joins in the centre. Tends to go in at the back, run across court, but she doesn't want to be going that way. It's a big turn. They got into the line, and finally, they score again. Kaoru Yokoshima breaking a run of 6 goals by Tunisia as the Japanese push forwards again into an individual defence. And they've managed to win the ball straight back. Quick play. There were minutes with a goal for the Japanese, but they're up and running again now. And it's the same again. Quick pass in to Yokoshima on the line. And the 29-year-old from Hokoku Bank scores with 40 seconds remaining now. Cheba. Comfortable save. Still 30 seconds on the clock. Japan, though, don't know anything other than fast forwards. The lob, Abdallah. 3 goals in under 2 minutes, and suddenly the game looks completely different. Matsumura, her 4th goal. Abdallah looks dejected. 8 seconds. Tunisia need to press forwards if they want to try and hit one back here at least. Jalezi knows it. She's back on, but takes too many steps, and that's the buzzer. Well, a real Jekyll and Hyde performance by both teams. Both have had runs of 6 goals, closing out the other teams. And at half-time, though, Japan have managed to restore a bigger lead than you might have expected. It's 13-9 against Tunisia. And both goalkeepers making 6 goals apiece. But really the story was a 6-goal run by Japan to make it 10-3 before the Tunisians hit them with 6 goals in 10 minutes without reply to come right back. But look at the attacks, 27% success rate only on Tunisia's attacks, 39% on the Japanese. They're playing so fast, there are lots of them. They've had 33 attacks each, but very low scoring comparatively, 13-9 and a lot of turnovers, 15 suffered by Tunisia and 10 by Japan so far in the game. And they're the product of the pace they're playing at and all the technical mistakes that come with it. Hamrouni for Tunisia and Matsumura for Japan are top scoring with 4 goals apiece, while Yokoshima, with those 2 late goals from the line to restore control for Japan, is the next best of the Japanese with 3 goals. Well, the progression of the game will show 2 very long blanks. At the bottom there was Tunisia drying up for 10 minutes or just under 10 minutes, and then at the top you can see a 10-minute spell where Japan then dried up completely on the back of what appeared to have been control of the game, and they handed it back, and now it's a 4-goal lead at half-time, 13-9 for Japan. We're going to take a short break, but join us again in just a few moments for the second half. We'll see you then.
First goal of the game scored by Japan by play. Goal Japan scored by player number 20, Ayako Nishichachi. Goal Tunisia scored by player number 30, Amal Hamrouni. Player number 12 from Tunisia, Yesef Abdallah. Ladies and gentlemen, boxing here in Goal Tunisia scored by player number 13, Amal Hamrouni, and in the name of fair play. Player number 20, Monde, Japon. 2-minute suspension for Japan for player number 2. Goal Tunisia scored.
And of course, what we're all waiting for is tonight at 20:45 when Denmark is playing Serbia. Her publikum, husk at besøge vores fanzone ved den ene side af over i arenaen. Der er masser af spændende ting at foretage sig konkurrencer. Man kan få taget billeder med holdet, og der er gode oplevelser. Hvis I har lyst til en souvenir, den officielle karakter fra det her verdensmesterskab, så er det faktisk sat lidt ude ved hovedindgangen. Og så venter vi jo lidt på kampen kl. 18:30 mellem Montenegro og Ungarn. Det er godt, det er lovligt rav, så selvfølgelig når Danmark i aften kl. 20:45 møder Serbien.
スをしたら切り替えて次いいお互いちゃんと目と目を合わせてそれからいいか攻撃は絶対止まらないでいい動きを出しながらボールだけじゃない人とボールを動かすいいねもう一回ここからで後半が走れるチャンスがたくさんあるかなはいもう
Japan 13, Tunisia 9. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big and fair hand for both teams.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Boxing Arena in Herning. It's half-time here in this Group A match between Japan and Tunisia. Japan leading 13-9, but it's not all been their own way. Abdallah in the picture making 6 saves, a 32% save rate. As both teams had long runs of 6 goals without reply. Japan first to take control, but then Tunisia to drag themselves back into the game. They got to within 1 goal, but then it all went wrong with a run of 3 very quick goals at the end by Japan in just 1.5 minutes to make sure that they went into the half-time break with a psychological advantage. And Tunisia now need to dig deep and find that nice flowing play they managed to get into during that 10-minute spell. So we're just about ready for the second half. So Tunisia throw off and immediately come under individual attention by the Japanese defence, which has switched from 6-0 to 5-1 to mostly this individual defence, but they're alternating and trying to prevent the Tunisians from settling in. Jalezi, who's come back on in the second half with heavy strapping on her right thigh, where she seemed to pick up an injury earlier on, but she's moving okay now. Cheba looks for the line again. In fact, it's Juini, I beg your pardon, the injured player. They strike first, and it's courtesy of Raja Toumi, the most experienced player in the team, her first goal in the game. Toumi's had a bit of a quiet championship so far with just 2 goals and been used sparingly as well, 50 minutes. It's a 3-goal lead for Japan inside the first minute of the second half. Cheba playing up front. The wing, it's a very closed angle. This time she did stay in the air. And they do like their Kempes. The ball lobbed across for Yui Tsunami, and it leaves Abdallah with absolutely no chance whatsoever. A nice throw across by Matsumura. The 2 standout players of the Japanese team, as far as I'm concerned, linking up nicely there. High fives all round. 4-goal lead then restored for Japan. Toumi started with Gerisi on the left wing. Not had a stellar tournament yet either, Gerisi. And we got a 2-minute suspension now. The foul on Toumi sees Ishitate go off, number 20, hanging onto her shirt as she tried to break away. So 3 players now on the Japanese team have been suspended. Hara, 2 of them. Cheba. Oh! Saved by Kametani, and as the Japanese tried to sneak the ball back, they've knocked it out instead for a throw-in, but at least the penalty is saved. Good action there by Sakura Kametani, the 28-year-old keeper from Kristiansand. Can't do anything about that one though. Muna Jalezi, newcomer to the Tunisian team, and what an impact she's had. Lovely link up. 3rd goal for her. So once again, the Japanese put on Mineko Tanaka, 40-year-old, veteran of 143 internationals in Japan, 607 goals. The third World Championship, plenty of experience. She comes racing off again now, though, as the attack drags on. Kamitani back in goal into the wing. Oh, yes! Even short-handed, they've somehow managed to find a way around the outside. And who else but 24-year-old Matsumura?
Goal Japan for the 5th time, player number 29.
Kuriyama must be happy with that, scoring short-handed. Japan, whose results have been very promising so far in the competition against strong teams, but that's a nice long-range throw. Courtesy of Cheima Juini. Her first of the game, 76 kilometers an hour. Just 19 years of age. Tanaka is back, number 5. And so they are now back to full strength again, and they can swap around. Ishitate slots back into the centre, the 28-year-old, who plays a club handball in Hungary for Fehérvár, together with Tanabe. Club who are 8th in the Hungarian First Division. So they've lost possession now. Tunisia break away. Toumi tries to go direct. Kamitani had it covered all the way. A little bit of a rash move there by the experienced Tunisian. Kamitani's 7th save. Looking for the line, too closely marked, and the ball is taken off them. Kuki, Cheba, back to Kuki. Oh, she's put it wide. Oh, those are the chances that can come back and haunt you later on. Hara. Ah, just beyond the outreached hand of Abdallah. Doesn't look too happy, and Hara scores her 3rd goal.
Goal Japan scored by player number 25.
Yokoshima holding back 2 defenders on the line. Oh, nearly dispossessed. Geresi tidies things up. Tries to look for the line, and again, the Japanese putting Tunisia under a lot of pressure. They've stolen the ball. 2 against 3, mind you. She still scores, and Chiba couldn't hold her. And Hara gets 2 in quick succession. 3 defenders back, but in the end, Chiba left on her own to deal with Hara, and she came off 2nd best. 5-goal lead now for Japan. Tuni getting frustrated now with the close attention of the Japanese defense. Exactly what they want. Don't let it get to you. That's when you start to make even more mistakes. Juini blocked as she tries to find a way through. And from the free throw, Japanese drop back briefly. Geresi fumbles the ball. And another quick goal. Well, they're coming one after the other now, and Sana looks up, and the timeout card, please. Quick break. Ishitate, the scorer of that last one, her 2nd goal, and it's an 18-12 lead, and it's all gone wrong now for Tunisia, who were hanging in there, but as the Japanese have pushed up and upped the intensity a little bit on this individual defense, the Tunisians are getting tired of making mistakes. Let's listen in.
Pas d'affolement surtout. Pas d'affolement et pas de précipitation. On écarte un peu le jeu, Mourad. D'accord? On écarte un peu le jeu. خارجين على منى وعلى رجاء. Tu écartes يا إلهام.
入れてくるから入らない努力をして。入ってから余計なことすると変な反則取られるから、入ってしまったら2人で囲んでこう手。横。オッケー、これ徹底してよ。これでもうチャージで低い体勢でチャージで手こうやってやっていい？そこから先は引っ掛けない。シェバにも一緒で、それでダメだったらもっとディフェンス変えていくから、これは落ち着いてやろうや。いいか。
Well, the word from Sana to his players is don't panic and don't rush. He didn't actually give them specifically any tactical tips in terms of coping with this individual defence and about getting away, because at the end of the day it comes with keeping your head and trying to run off the ball. I'm afraid the Tunisian fans are looking somewhat downbeat here in the boxing arena as Cheba and her teammates struggle against a Japanese team who now are really putting them under pressure, and they're looking tired, the Tunisians. And they have, throughout this tournament, tired in the games and gone off the boil as it's run forwards. Nearly stolen again. Oh, that could be a 2-minute suspension. She just got overtaken. Oh, no. Well, the referee's saying to Giuini, a little bit less of the play acting and leave the decision to us. Cheba looks to the line. That's lovely. Tumi racing in behind. Pinpoint accuracy needed, but Cheba delivered. And Tumi gets a second. Point blank and no chance whatsoever for Kametani. So that breaks a run of 3 goals for the Japanese team. Oh, lovely back pass, a big angle as well, and no chance there for Nesrin Hamza, who's replaced Abdallah in goal. She's well beaten by Megumi Honda, but look at the sublime final pass there, round the back. That was very nice by Tsunami, long-range pass. These shots, it's almost desperation. They're tired and they're making these wrong decisions. Looking for the attacking foul, didn't get it, Kuildi. And Japan settled down in the end. So off comes Yokoshima. Is it? Well, Ishino, in fact, is being used in defence at the moment. It's an attacking foul, barging into a defender, looking for the long pass. Nicely scored, managed to get away from a marker. Muna Jalezi, goal number 4. Bit of a poke in the eye, but this was the action at the other end as Jalezi got away. Nagata tried to make an awkward angle for her. See if, oh, there's the tap in the face for Tumi. Came off Kaoru Yokoshima. Seems to be all right, though. She's got another eye. Tsunami. Honda. Tries to go through. Ishitate, penalty, defending inside the area. Oh, and a 2-minute suspension. Tumi pushing her from the back as she went through. Number 10 has been sent off. There it is. Penalty to be taken by Tsunami. He scores. It's the 3rd goal of the game as she beats Nesrin Hamza, 22-year-old keeper. It's Madia, sent to the wrong way. So 6-goal lead for Japan, who now have an extra player for still just over a minute and a half. Cheba being individually marked as they push right up in what is effectively a 0-5-1. It even says 0-5-0-1. Cheba tries to cut back in, looking for the line, goes wide, nothing given. And this will absolutely exhaust the Tunisians, who are already looking tired. Jalezi trying to wrestle her way through 2 defenders. Sana pacing anxiously. Attacking foul. Took a while coming through the decision. Called against Tsunami. Straight into the goalkeeper by Kuildi. Actions of a tired player there, but she's only been on court 28 minutes. No such problem at the other end, where Japan are maintaining the momentum even. Little acceleration, see the gap, and they race for it. And that was Hara getting a 5th goal. Joins Matsumura on that scoreline. Gerisi. Well, there were no options left to Chiba. She couldn't pass to anyone the way she was going. Could only take a long-range shot. It was extremely speculative. If you look at it, the lines were covered, the wing was covered. Took the long shot, and with the bounce it goes in. Well, something at least for the fans to cheer. Still, I'm afraid there's 6 goals adrift. And at the moment, at least, not looking like they'll close the gap. That said, we didn't see that 6-0 in the first half coming from the Tunisians. Especially after they'd just conceded one their own. Looking for the line, well defended. A little too much holding for the referee's liking, and it's going to be a free throw, the foul on Yokoshima. Switch back. Straight through, may have come off a defender who took the sting out of it, saved by Hamza. Chiba tries to accelerate away, Tumi into the wing, under the keeper, Safa Bencheka, her first of the game. 21-year-old who plays for Madia. Set up nicely.
Goal to Tunisia, scored by player number 13, Fatma Shafa.
Five goals in it, 12 minutes played in the second half. Oh. Wing to wing, but I don't think it was the winger on this court she was aiming for. It's caught by the spectator in the 5th row. And he's just realised that there's rather a lot of resin on the ball, I think. Much to the amusement of Chiba. He won't be reading his match programme for a little while, that spectator, that's for sure. So Gerisi takes the throw under very close attention. Chiba links up with Tumi's side netting. That was a shame, and now Japan are going to break quick, straight down the middle. Plenty of options coming in. Oh, Tsunami fumbled it, but under a lot of pressure from Kuki, and she's got a free throw out of it. Oh, I couldn't really get that more on the post if you tried. Hara's 6th goal of the game. The 24-year-old left back from Mia Violetaris.
Goal Japan, scored by player number 24, Usumi Hara.
22-16 Japan.
Let's give a hand for the 2 teams on the field.
I said it earlier, but whoever loses here, well, I'm afraid that the knockout phase is beyond them after that. A 2-minute suspension. And a completely bemused looking Kawamura.
2-minute suspension for Japan. Player number 28.
Nagata, beg your pardon. So maybe a chance for Tunisia to try and settle and get their rhythm again here. Little handoff. Nice height, but not a great deal of power, I'm afraid, by Giuini. And that's parried away quite comfortably. So Japan, short-handed, in no hurry to bring the ball up as the Japanese take Kametani off. And on comes Tanaka with the goalkeeper's bib. Of course, that's a rule that's expected to change next year. As Japan score yet another, to the frustration of Nisrin Hamza.
Goal Japan, scored by player number 20, Ayoko Ishitata.
Shitate's 3rd goal, and it's another 2-minute suspension. This time it's Matsumura who goes off, her first suspension of the game. 29, well, there was an unnecessary push. I think the Thai player just fell comfortably there, and that's scored by Jalizi. Against a Japanese team who are down to 4 field players. Kamitani can't do anything about that.
Goal to Tunisia, scored by player number 14, Mona Yildizi. That was her 5th goal of the match.
So coming up to the midway point in the second half, and it's Japan 23, Tunisia 17 here in the boxing arena in Hanning. It's a match between the bottom two teams in the group, still pointless. They've got one of their players back, at least Japan. Saved by Hamza. Tunisia break. They've got to take every advantage they can here. And they've scored another. All started from the save with Hamza, and it comes from Kuki. It's a second goal.
Goal Tunisia, scored by player number 44.
They bounce awkwardly for Kametani. 50% success rate, so as I was saying, from next year only the goalkeeper will be allowed in goal, so it means effectively you won't have to worry about putting the goalkeeper's bib on. You can just take your goalkeeper off and put an extra court player on. Because none of the the players would cover anyway, so it's passive play now, call against Japan, and the shot is blocked. Away come Tunisia. Kuki saved this time by Kametani, and Kuki punches the air with frustration as she wheels away after this save. Sakura Kametani coming out very quickly and closing her down. As they get tired, so the mistakes come and the shots are rushed a little bit. So Japan at full strength again. Ishitate's just come back on again into the wing. Goalkeeper goes down, and the ball is hammered in above her head by Matsumura. Straight over the head. 24-18 the scoreline now to Japan. Past the midway point in the second half as Chiba is being individually marked. There's space now on the wing. Overbounced it, put it through the legs of Kametani. But Safa Bencheka's shot just too hard, and it clears the post as well. Kametani happy with the performance so far. 12 saves, a 40% save rate for the Japanese keeper. Big gap. No problem with the bounce there. And Nozomihara makes it 7 goals in this game to add to the 5 she scored in the first 2.
Less than 12 minutes remaining of the match. Japan is in the lead 25 goals to Tunisia 18.
Kuriyama wanting a little bit more mobility. He didn't get it. Instead, Chiba goes straight through, but luckily for them, but not so for Chiba, she took too many steps. No goal. Doesn't look too happy. Well, that is too many steps, I'm afraid, even though she may not agree. Hamza makes another save. Blocked again, Hamza. Save number 4. Chiba. Quildi. Not a great pass, but somehow Safa Bencheka managed to keep it in. Now Kuki comes in from the other side, although she's too far out to have much effect. Safa. And they're getting isolated now. And 4 of them at one point in on the line, no one coming out. Yet another sign of tiredness, as that is as well by Tumi. A shot in frustration by the 37-year-old. And Japan looking very much the sharper now. Well, the game going nicely for Japan, who've been able to rest Yuko Arihama, number 17, who's got a knee problem and we were told would only really be played if she absolutely had to. But her teammates have made sure that she can get a little bit of extra rest. There she is on the bench, quite relieved actually.
Goal Japan. Scored by
That was who else but Nozomi Hara. So less than 10 minutes remaining and Tunisia are walking this one. That's an attacking foul. Gerisi stumbles straight into Honda. They've managed the game well, Japan. They've alternated a bit with their defence. In attack, they've had nice flashes of speed. And other than that 10-minute spell in the first half where they went completely off the boil, having appeared to take control of the game, they have consistently looked the sharper team here. That goes wide, and the foul, though, by Rakia Rezgi gives a free throw to Japan. 19-year-old newcomer. And a little bit of floor mopping required. Japanese who warmed up with a week in Denmark ahead of the tournament. Played various club sides. They were beaten by Odense and SK Aarhus and just managed to beat Viborg, although admittedly Viborg with a lot of their youth team by a single goal. Tunisia's preparations were at a tournament in Spain in Gijón last week where they lost to Denmark, Spain and maybe more surprisingly to Angola, and surprisingly because it was 22-27. You'd expected a much closer encounter between those two teams, if not against Denmark or Spain. Closed angle, but that's a penalty, and Honda looks up with frustration in the air. Thought she'd managed to stay out of trouble, but it was a little push. She just got tempted to give Giuini a shove. If she hadn't, she'd have got away with it. Kuildi to take the penalty. Well, it's just tiredness. And that will be of no concern to Sakura Kametani. It was neither here nor there. It wasn't in the top corner. It wasn't between arm and leg. She didn't really try and make the goalkeeper commit herself. I'm afraid Tunisia's World Championship run now looks to be preparing to come to an end in the main round. They'll still have 2 more matches to play. Tunisia have Montenegro tomorrow, then there's a day's rest, and then it's Serbia. So they're not becoming much easier. That was very nice, another little Kempe. And Nozomi Hara's on 9 goals now. Smiles all round, except for Nizrin Hamza, of course.
Goal Japan, scored by player number 24.
Japan, for their part, they play Serbia tomorrow. It's another match that they are hoping to win, but it'll be a tough ask against a Serbian team who are looking sharp at the moment, despite all the player problems they've arrived with. And then a day's rest, and then they're up against Japan, against Hungary rather, for their last match of the group. And that will be another tough one. So the bench being turned a bit by Japan now as Anna Kawamura comes in, the 24-year-old. Number 26, she's gone into the left-back position, played just 13 times for Japan. Crossovers, still the pace is there. Japan's fitness not in doubt here. But watch it, 3 seconds, a bit of holding from behind there by Rezgi. Means that Yukoshima's won the free throw. Nice and patient, and then suddenly that quick acceleration that's come off a defender. It'll be a throw in from the corner as Honda shuffles into the wing. And another one. Shio Fuji, her first of the game. 30-year-old. A team timeout's been called. Fuji, who stopped playing handball last year for study reasons, but has only just come back. We'll listen in though for now.
سعيدة تاخذ بلاستيك وشاف. قاعدين ياسر نفلتوا راهو ياسر نجري وبالفارغ نجري. نجريو بالفارغ نعطيو في لي موفيس باس لي تير راتي. سعيدة تكمل فاطمة. شيمة تبدا من تكمل من هنا. شيمة كمل منى.
だから以外ディフェンス、相手のディフェンス一戦やってるけど、もう3枚目が爪がなくなってきたよな。でこれシュート狙ってやって引っ張ってやったらいくらでもトライ空いてるから。でここで1対1いけるんだって言っても構わないし、それが単にワイドで動くだけでアウトインでボールもらってやったりとかで、ついてきたらもう1回行ったりとか、それをしつこくロングシュートで淡白に終わるな。はい、行こう。
Well, as ever, Kuriyama, methodical, knows exactly what he wants. I have to say, Sana's team timeout, done beat and reproachful, I'd say. He was talking about your missed shots, your mistakes, and it's maybe at the end here you want to pep them up a bit and say, come on, let's pick it up. Let's try and make sure we make less mistakes. We make more plays in the last 5 minutes. Try this move or try that move. But it's, I think it's the sense that this one has escaped them, I'm afraid. And Japan have very much deserved the points here today. Play resumes. Solid defending by Nagata as a theatrical drop there by Jalizi. Free throw for Tunisia. Cheba still loitering on the right of the picture there, being individually marked. And Tunisia, though, pull one back courtesy of Chema Jouini, her second of the game. 19-year-old.
5 minutes remaining of the match. Tunisia just scored. And the goal scorer playing number 7.
Jouini's second from 5 attempts in this game, and we are into the last 5 minutes of the game. So for Japan, their hopes of place in the knockout stage still alive, but when I spoke to their coach Masamichi Kuriyama a couple of days ago, he said, well, we are hoping to take points off Serbia. That's essential, obviously, to go through. They feel that's the team in the other team other than Tunisia in their group that they could beat, but in fact Serbia have looked reasonably sharp. That's gone wide, although there were claims earlier of too many steps by the bench. Cheba looking for the line, she's found it, nicely done. Rakia Rezgi gets her first of the game, only her second in the tournament, with the tall 1m80 line player. Used a lot in defence in the opening 2 games, but today getting a little bit more time in this hack as well. 4 minutes remaining then, but still a comfortable 8-goal lead for Japan. We're turning the bench now, running other players out, such as Kawamura running across there now at the right back position. Good block, a save by Hamza. A 6th. Cheba looks for the wing. Cross court to Safa Bencheka. Ball stolen, but unfairly say the referees, and it's a free throw. And Jalezi immediately stands up and asks for the defence to be 3 meters away. Again charges in. This time it's Saida Recep. He's just been on 2.5 minutes, and Sana, I think, seeing this game run away from him, has decided to turn the bench even. 21-year-old who did play in the last World Championships, although used sparingly. Going to change the goalkeeper for Japan as well, and it's the player who's celebrating 100th international, Kimiko Hida, who's gone in. To the wing, all the way through. Oh, it came off the foot of the defender. It was unlucky for Recep. There's a good chance there for Kawamura. Shio Fuji gets her second, 1m64, but boy, could she shoot hard. Oh, brilliant save. Well, what an entrance by Hida. Oh, that's why you get 100 internationals. 38-year-old pulls off a fabulous save. Even the other keepers are talking about it. Kametani and Fujima. Fuji again. Oh! She's got a range, all right. Fuji, who was their top scorer at the World Championships 2 years ago with 48 goals, and Lise Hamza completely bemused in goal. Smiles all round. 10-goal lead again. And again, Kimiko Hida. So Japan bring the ball up, and Tanaka for once attacking in the middle for Japan without the goalkeeper's bib on. 40-year-old veteran of 143 internationals. Little handoff into the wing. Oh, good save again by Hamza. Her 8th of Tanabe. We're inside the last minute of the game. Juini. It's a 3-3 defence now. Juini again, can't find a way through. It's a free throw. Chiba needs a bit of space now. Chiba, just 3 goals in the game, and too many steps. Thinking about it for too long. A push in the back, and that's going to be a 2-minute suspension for Chiba. Frustration. She shoves Megumi Honda. And that's her 2nd of the game. It's irrelevant now, with only 26 seconds left. Couldn't catch her. Just give a good shove instead. And Kuriyama need not have worried. The Russian referees were on the job. And Chiba goes to take a seat. So put away. And that's Kawamura's first goal of the game, and indeed of the championships. 15 seconds remaining. Last action of the game coming up now. Hida staying alert in goal. To no avail. Juini gets her 3rd goal, but the seconds are ticking away here. And there it is. And Japan, job done. They had to beat Tunisia, they knew that much. But that's only half the mission. They've got to beat Serbia tomorrow as well if they want to do it. For Chiba and her teammates, I'm afraid, it came to nothing as Japan dominated the second half to win 31-21. The teams line up for the Player of the Match award. Chiba looks somewhat frustrated. 3 goals from 6 attempts. A couple of 2-minute suspensions in there, but for Kuriyama, he took over after the World Championships in 2011 from Hwang Kyung-jung. It is part of the mission achieved here. They have looked sharpest, I have to say, in the lead up to this game and in the game.
Official equipment supplier to the International Handball Federation.
And Nozomi Hara, 9 goals in the game. Could be one of the contenders. Kametani, 43% save rate. And it is Nozomi Hara, the 24-year-old back player, with a 9 goals. 64% success rate. And the Japanese fans happy with that. Smiles all round. And it's time to go and get the legs massage, get the ice out, and get ready for tomorrow's match. The second match tomorrow. So they'll have a little bit more rest than their opponents. But for Tunisia, I'm afraid that defeat means that they will not be able to progress through to the knockout phase. Japan's hopes still very much alive. They'll need a big game though tomorrow if they want to beat the Serbs, who have looked sharp, and they go and thank their small band of followers, including a few adopted ones at the back. Very entertaining, very different type of handball here. The stats then: 48% of the Japanese attacks succeeding, 56% of their shooting. Tunisia still only about 1 in 3 attacks succeeding, and 21 turnovers they suffered in the game, hence the problems for them. 14 to Japan. There were 5 2-minute suspensions apiece otherwise in the game. Well, for all the heroics of the first half, I'm afraid it wasn't enough for Tunisia. Hara with 9 goals, player of the match, quite deservedly. Matsumura with 6 right behind her, while Jalezi was the best of the Tunisians with 5 goals, followed by Hamrouni on 4. So the progression of the game shows that Tunisia, again at the end there, the last 15 minutes, 3 goals only, while Japan consistently scoring throughout the second half, never relented, constantly kept the pressure, turned the bench and had plenty of strength. But Tunisia ran out of steam in the end. That was as much as anything else the problem for them. And it means that Tunisia stay rooted to the bottom, while Japan for the moment have moved up to 4th place. But of course that will all change with the other matches coming up. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this game. We'll be back very shortly. Hope you can join us then. But for now, from me, Paul Bray, goodbye.